we live? I kind of completely forgot how to operate this entire system. I swear on God. If you're asking me, I'm so out of touch
Yeah,
that I don't know how to operate. But anyway, welcome, guys. Welcome. Hello,
yeah.
everyone. Hello. We are back.
That that's because of your age, nothing else.
You seem to be on top of things. It looks like Ashfaq.
Yeah. So people not complimenting me enough in my new headphones. So like everyone knows that I tend to follow Nadim Bhai in real life and in FPL. So a very long time that I've see that he has good headphones on, and I've been wanting to buy one good headphones so I can imitate him or be like him, etc. So now I finally have a good headphone to compliment him and be more like him
Mhm.
going forward.
Look at us. All three of us are looking like monkeys with a head. But Buddha mat kaho, Buddha mat suno, Buddha mat dekho. You just need a patch. Yeah, just we need is a patch. And that's it. Buddha mat dekho will be covered. Anyway, warm welcome, everyone. Warm welcome in this winter night. It's really cold in here in Dhaka, but I think this temperature has subsided a bit, so it's getting a warmer a little bit. But back in the north, I can tell you it's bloody freezing. It's freezing out there. Yeah. Parvez is a witness. Look at him with all monkey topi and everything, mufflers and everything around his neck. But yeah, you know why I'm feeling so warm? Because FPL is finally back. I've never seen a game week so long, and I don't remember anything going on for so long. I mean, I even forgot the score that I got. So it's a terrible week. But anyway, we are back, and there is a lot of information to catch up with. There's so many updates that we are going to go up, and we don't have too much to discuss, but we will try to share as much as we can. We'll try to make this pod as sweet as possible and as quick as possible so that we can quickly get into your question and answers. We don't have too much to discuss. But warm welcome again, Parvez and Ashfaq. Good to
Thank you,
see you
Nadim.
guys after a long time. Yeah,
You too.
it doesn't sound like Ashfaq. Me too. That's like
Oh
a dead.
no, that's just the cold speaking.
Oh,
Don't read
okay.
too much into my tone or anything. It's just the cold.
Okay. I'm not going to read into your tone, but it really sounded like, oh God, I'm back with this guy again. Yeah, me too. Anyway, let's not get into hashtag me too, but welcome. And this is, of course, the Futalochana for Game Week 22. And of course, as you know, if you haven't followed or liked or subscribed, please do so now. Otherwise, you're missing out on a lot of information which we are providing on a regular basis. We are the only channel in Bangladesh who kind of does the FPL show on a regular basis. We have not missed a single show since we began our channel 3 years back. So, yeah, I think that needs a lot of effort and dedication. So keep up with that. I think only one game week we missed, and that was because of the technical error. But anyway, please do follow, subscribe, and like. If you haven't, invite your friends, and of course, give us a review if you can. Yeah, okay. And of course, all the data that you see in the pod or in the show or everything that we refer, even verbally, is from Fantasy Football Scout members area. Ghana Football Fantasy is the only page in Bangladesh to be part of the Fantasy Football Scout Network. And if you're interested in the data, and all the information, then please do click on the description section and the link on the description section, and you will get a 20% discount, not 30%. I repeat, 20% discount. And with that, you will have access to the membership, and it's worth investing that money because it's really good. And yeah, worth your time. So everything that you see we share is basically coming from the members area. So get your full members area access by clicking on the link in the description. Right. So what do we have? I mean, there is so much. Before we get into all this, the funny thing is the person who's called Data Baba, or the person we all love, in this show, people always try to ask him the question. Today in our WhatsApp group, he was saying like, what is FPL and what's the status? And I think that just goes to show that we've been really sleeping for the last couple of weeks, at least when it comes to FPL. Yeah. So we really had to catch up a lot. We had to catch up a lot. We haven't yet caught up fully ourselves. So it's not like we are on top of all the information, but we'll try to share as much information as we can. But everything that we prepared today is we're still trying to learn ourselves. So please do try and understand that, not everything we'll be able to give will be 100% solid, but at least we'll give it our best information and not something that is entirely wrong. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, that
just a comment here. That was actually Saif Bhai, not Parvez Bhai, who was saying that what is FPL and when is what, etc.
yeah,
Um,
but Parvez was the
so
one. He was
so
like, Parvez was the one who was like, okay, what are the hot topics are we going to discuss today? He has never asked a hot topic. He's the one who's always telling us this is the hot topic for this week. Yeah. But this is the first time I've seen Parvez asking me, like, what are the hot topics? And I was like, oh, we should discuss this, we should discuss this, we should discuss this. And then he's like, huh, double game week, blank game week? What are you talking about? So basically, it just goes to show the situation we find ourselves in. But it's okay. It's totally okay. Okay, so here are the hot topics, and let's get straight into that. The first one is, of course, when is the double game week and the blank game week? And then we will talk about Haaland and KDB transfer, which I will cover. Salah injury update is something, Ashfaq, you need to cover. And then captaincy is something that Parvez will cover. Okay, are we agree on that?
whatever you say, you're the boss.
Oh, I'm the boss. Okay, I didn't know I'm the boss. Okay, but thanks, Ashfaq, for putting me in a pedestal. Yeah. Anyway, over to you, Ashfaq. Then, since I'm the boss, I will dictate terms here. Over to you. When is the double game week and the blank game week?
So, thanks for that. I'll try to be as short as I can. So, as you know, the double game week has already been announced. So, game week 25 is the first double game week that we are going to have. We had the other double game week between Burnley and Luton, which was not a high scoring game week for most, but this time we have some premium teams who was having the double game weeks, mainly Brentford and City, which are confirmed for game week 25. City has good fixtures. City's other fixture, I think they play Brentford, and the other one is, sorry, I keep forgetting. Just goes to show how much away from FPL we are. The other one is Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Chelsea and Brentford plays City, and they play Liverpool, I think.
Yeah.
So Brentford on paper have has the tougher of the fixture, but City, because Chelsea has not been defensively solid, I think City is a good team to target for the double game week. Haaland and KDB will be popular transfer targets, so it would be wise that if you don't have KDB, etc., you might want to bring him in early. His price will likely go up, so that is something you need to consider. There is a very very high possibility because the Liverpool game versus Luton, which was supposed to be on game week 26, might be moved to game week 2025. So there is a chance that Liverpool and Luton will also have double game weeks, but we'll know more on that in a week or two. But that is not yet confirmed yet. But so far, Brentford and City are covered, so that is the double game week for them. And followed by that, we have the blank game week because the League Cup final is going to happen, which means Liverpool and Spurs will have blanks in game week 26 alongside Chelsea and Luton.
Yep.
So if you have you have doubled up or tripled up on those teams, mainly Chelsea, Liverpool, or Spurs, then you need to have a plan in place what to do with game week 26 because they're confirmed to have blanks on that game week. There are further blank game weeks that will likely happen in game week 29, but that is further down the line. That is 8 game weeks from now. So we're not covering that at the moment, but there will likely be a further game weeks, but that will depend a lot on the FA Cup draw and the replays, etc. When it happens. So it's very traditional that game week 28 to 29 is a blank game week for for FPL. It usually followed by is usually followed by a small double game week in game week 31 or 30, etc. Then followed by the larger double game weeks in game week 34 or 36. So regarding the double game weeks and the blank game weeks, I think managers should plan for the short term for double game week 25 and the blank game week 26. So over to you, Nadim.
Thanks, Ashfaq. That was pretty sweet, and I think that was pretty comprehensive. Yeah. If any questions related to double game week and blank game week so far, let us know. There is also a blank game week in game week 29. I think Ashfaq covered that as well, right? Um,
Yeah, but we don't have a full idea of the
no,
fixtures
no,
which is gonna
no.
happen, and it's also
Yeah,
8 weeks down the line, so we're not dwelling much into that. But
yeah,
it will definitely be a blank game week for many teams.
yeah. And that sorry, blank game week 29 will be confirmed before deadline of game week 27. So we will, by game week 27 deadline, we will come to know as to who are the teams who are blanking in game week 29. But for now, it's 25 double game week, 26 is blank game week. And it's a small double game week and a small blank game week. But the problem is important teams are there, and most of our teams usually have those kind of players in our teams. So
Like we have
that's what makes.
yes, exactly. Like we have Palmer from Chelsea, Trent from Liverpool, um, Poro from Spurs. So these are all popular assets, which is likely gonna blank in gaming 26. So managers should have a plan in place on what to do with them in the blank game week 26.
Right. Okay. Then let's go to the next section. Haaland and KDB transfers. Right. Okay. Just to give you an update on that, Haaland is seen. There were pictures about Haaland doing the training, and he's back in training, but he didn't play yet. And there is still speculations, and I'm telling you, this is a speculation rather than anything confirmation, is that he is likely going to be benched this week, or because usually the tendency, or at least the City experts suggest that the tendency for Haaland to Pep Guardiola is to not to bring a player quickly in. So that's that. But yeah, the fact that he's back and probably he'll be fit by game week 23 or game week 24, and because they're having a double game week in 25, his price is likely to go up quickly. And of course, he has quite a good fixture in game week 25 as well. So if you are planning to get him in, the thing is, my suggestion would be is get him as soon as possible, because you never know. He's playing game week 22 with Burnley, and if he even plays for 10-20 minutes, he might do the similar damage like what KDB did. So that's one. If he doesn't come back in 22 and he plays in 23, he still has an easier fixture, and he might still do the damage. And of course, you are getting him for the double game week in 25, where so get him as soon as possible because the market will be quite volatile. So that's that. Now, in terms of KDB, a lot of people are interested, and it's an interesting move, and I wouldn't say that. But again, KDB has just played what 20 minutes, and then followed by another couple of minutes, I think, another 50 minutes or 45 minutes. I'm not sure, but the fact that he's back and he's being slowly eased into the team, one of the key transfers that if you don't have the budget for KDB, you do not need to worry. What you can do is you can try and then get in Foden, yeah, because I think Foden is an important shot for this week, yeah, and Foden will likely to cover because he's. If you have seen the FA Cup match a couple of days back, you would notice that even Bernardo Silva, although City was losing, it was Bernardo Silva who was kind of taken away rather than Foden. So that just goes to show the reliance on him. And most likely Foden is either going to play as a number 10 or number 8. So that's important. So if you don't have KDB, fine. If you can't get in KDB, that's also fine. Get in Foden. What I'm trying to really say is KDB is back. Haaland is also back. How quickly they're going to be regular in the team is still important to notice. I mean, their X minutes, the amount of minutes they will play is still questionable, but it's not like they will not play at all. But within that questionable minutes, it might be 30 or it might be 40 or it might be 60. Whatever the minutes it is, they can do significant amount of damage. The second important point that you need to remember is having, because City has a double game week, it's important that you have at least triple up on City. Now, why I'm saying triple up on City is that City is most likely not going to blank. They're not going to blank most likely in Game Week 26. Yeah, they just need to win the match and that's it. They will not blank Game Week 26. So if they don't blank in Game Week 26, you are more or less covered. With Liverpool and Spurs blanking, you are most likely covered. But also you are playing three of the attackers, and I think that's a very easy, very good fixtures, and that would be an ideal time to use the triple captainship. But of course, we are going to talk about the chip strategy in the next show on Thursday. Yeah, we are going to talk about the chip strategy and everything. So that's that. But yeah, both of them are back in. Back in. Get him as quickly as possible. If you can't get KDB, don't worry. Get in Foden. You already have probably Alvarez. If you don't have a Haaland, get him in as soon as possible because the market will be volatile. They have a double game week. They're not blanking in game week 26 most likely. And of course, within that little bit of minutes that they might play, they might still do the damage. Yeah. So that's that. Was I quick or was I too long? Okay.
You are wrong. You are long.
I was long. Okay. It's okay.
Yes.
It's fine. It's fine. I can be a bit long now. Yeah. All right. I give you the floor for the next one with the Salah update injury. Ashfaq.
Regarding the Salah injury, it's a relatively short update or a straightforward update. So, as you all know, the Salah was away for the Afghan tournament, and there in the second game he suffered a hamstring injury. The hamstring injury was initially feared to be not serious, then it turned out to be serious. Then what Salah did was he actually came back to England. He's currently in Liverpool right now. He's continuing his rehabilitation for the injury itself. So it's not a light injury. Liverpool takes this very seriously. That is why they called him back, and he's undergoing treatment at the liver at their club right now. Um, so the idea on Salah is that Egypt is still in the cup, and the message is pretty clear from both Egypt and Liverpool. So provided Egypt makes it onto the semi-finals or final, and Salah is fit by then, which is ideally game week 24 or 25, maybe probably game week 25. So if Salah is fit by then, Salah will likely go back to Egypt and try to play in the final, provided Egypt makes it into final. But as of now, it's it's a long shot. It's a long long shot regarding whether he did make it to the final or not. But on a personal note, my common sense says that Klopp would likely not risk, or Liverpool likely not risk, a player of Salah's stature to be rushed back from injury, and ask him or let him go and play the AFCON final. Although Salah might want to because of the Egypt being in the final, etc. But I think Liverpool will proceed with caution regarding his injury. So the straightforward update is Salah is likely not to be fit till game week 25. He might play, but there's a vague, small possibility he might. Even if he doesn't, game week 26 is a blank for Liverpool anyway. So as of now, it seems that Salah will likely be back for game week 27 if his treatment plan goes to his treatment goes to plan. So that is the current update on Salah. So if you have Salah, I think a transfer out is more or less formality which you should do.
Yeah, and I think you kind of hit the nail over there in the coffin, Ashfaq. The fact that you mentioned they were brought in. He was brought in to Liverpool. I think that's the underlying factor that we need to really focus. Forget about everything about Salah. A player gets injured and he comes back to Liverpool. And then Klopp makes a statement that Africa doesn't have a good treatment center, so we wanted to get him the best care. Just goes to show the seriousness of the injury. Yeah. and it's hamstring injury. And with hamstring injury, you need time to heal. So if you need time to heal, you don't bring your player back. And now that Egypt are out of the AFCON, it makes no sense to rush him in, especially with the blanks and the doubles coming, and with all the also the Carling Cup final in
Right.
mind.
We have
So
been away from football for 2 or 3 weeks now. I forgot that I did not follow that Egypt is already out of AFCON. They lost to
yeah,
penalties, I think, yesterday
yeah.
against DR Congo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just on that. Now that we are talking about AFCON and we are talking about Asia Cup, some people might still have Son, and we don't have it as a hot topic in our same team. Just to give you an update on Son, South Korea is playing Saudi Arabia this tonight or tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure, but within the next 1 or 2 days. Yeah, South Korea versus Saudi Arabia. Now, once South Korea wins, means Son will go through, and then Son is not coming back for gaming 23 or 24 either. Yeah, but Son has a 26 game week blank, so you can hold him as long. You can sell him if you see that they have beaten Saudi Arabia. But if they have lost, sorry, if they have lost against Saudi Arabia, then what would be ideal is to get him, hold him, because you've been having him anyway. Hold him, and although they have 26 blank, they have very good fixtures down the line from 27 onwards, 28, 29. So if you have Son and South Korea loses, hold him. If you have Son and South Korea wins, you can probably think of selling him. Yeah. So that's just a update on Son if you have that sort of a dilemma, like what to do. So if you have Salah and Son in your team, you know exactly what to do now. Yeah. Okay. Let's move to the next
Right.
topic.
So the game is tomorrow night at 10.
Yeah.
So the
See. Okay.
deadline is at 12, right? When is the deadline?
I'm not playing AFCON. Saif is not here with us. I'm not playing Asia Cup
No, I'm
either.
talking
Saif,
about the
by the
premier the Game Week 22 deadline. When is that? It's at
oh
12, right?
yeah, it's a 12 tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, sorry. By the way, you're talking about AFCON. Huh? Saif is leading the AFCON from Bangladesh, and he's globally ranked now. I think 200 something worldwide, playing the AFCON Fantasy Premier League. So well done to Saif, and kudos and congratulations, of course. Hope he does it well. He's still now topping Bangladesh. So yeah, in the Bangladesh group, he's number one, but in the world, he's the 200 something. Yeah, so which is great. Yeah, best wishes to him. And of course, today he's absent. He's probably tired, right? He's sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyway,
tired from playing too hard on the AFCON FPL.
yeah, true that. He's the only guy who's been abreast with FPL and stuff, although he was pretending he didn't know. Anyway, over to the
True,
last topic,
true.
which is Captaincy Game Week 22. All the viewers, if you are thinking about chip strategy, I can tell you that we will definitely cover this in Game Week 23. Yeah, so don't worry, don't worry. Yeah, over to you, Parvez, with Captaincy Game Week 22.
Yeah, thank you, নাজিম। আসলে আমি আজকে পদের হোস্টের চাইতে আসলে শ্রোতা হিসেবে বেশি কাজ করতেছিলাম। যে আমি শুনতেছিলাম আজকে সবকিছুই, যে আসলে আমি আসলে
হোস্ট অনেক বেশি কথা বললে আসলে মানে অন্য কারো খুব বেশি
হোস্ট
সময় থাকে না, মানে কথা বলার সুযোগ থাকে
আসলে
না।
হোস্ট এবং কো হোস্টের
মানে
কথাগুলো খুব
আমি
মনোযোগ
কিছু
দিয়ে
একটা বললে
শুনতেছিলাম।
হোস্ট ওটা মানে আমি কিছু একটা 30% বললে হোস্ট বাকি 70% বলে দিতেছে আর কি। তো
রাইট। তো হোস্ট যে আসলে খুবই আজকে আপডেট আছে, এটা বোঝা যাচ্ছে যে আসলে সে মোস্ট লাইকলি যে সে আজকে ম্যান অফ দি ম্যাচ আর কি পডের। কারণ
হ্যাঁ, না দেখছেন
আশপাশের
না মানে
মোটামুটি
সে এত রিসার্চ করছে, মানে রিসার্চ করে সে গরম হয়ে গেছে। আমরা সবাই হচ্ছে গিয়ে ঠান্ডা কাপড় পরে আছি, সে কিন্তু গেঞ্জি পরে আছে।
রাইট।
রিসার্চ করে গরম হয়ে আছে আর কি। গা
So
গরম হয়ে
Are
গেছে
you
রিসার্চ করে।
are you not entertained?
yeah,
Are you not
absolutely.
entertained? I should give that
Yeah,
famous
we are.
dialogue of Gladiator, man. Come on. Are you not
We are.
entertained? Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, FPL is back, so I'm super excited. Seriously, it felt like we were dead. Yeah. But anyway, over to you, Parvez, and let's finish
Yeah,
this, and then
thank
we
you.
can get to the question and answers.
Yeah, সো এই গেমকে আসলে যেহেতু বড় বড় প্লেয়াররা ইনজুরির কারণে আউট আছে বা বিভিন্ন রকম ইস্যুর কারণে, যেমন লাইক হ্যালান্ড, সো আলভারেস ইজ আ নাম্বার ওয়ান। এখানে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে সে ক্যাপ্টেনদের মধ্যে আলভারেস টপে আছে, যেহেতু বার্নলের সাথে খেলা। বার্নলের যদি লাস্ট 6 ম্যাচের আমি যদি স্ট্যাট দেখি, ডিফেন্সিভ স্ট্যাট গুলা দেখি, তাহলে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে তারা সবগুলাতেই মোটামুটি মার্ক করে। যেমন এক্সিসি যদি দেখি, যে তারা ওয়ার্স্টের দিক থেকে টপ 3, 11.67, এবং ওয়ান টার্গেট এক্সিসি, অন টার্গেট শর্ট কনসিড 44টা অন টার্গেট শর্ট কনসিড করছে, যেটা হলো সেকেন্ড। মিনিট পার চান্স কনসিড, অর্থাৎ 5.4 মিনিট পর পরই তারা আসলে চান্স কনসিড করতেছে। বিগ চান্সও কনসিড করছে অনেকগুলা, 16টা বিগ চান্স কনসিড করছে, যেটা র্যাঙ্ক বলতেছে তারা ফোর্থ ওয়ার্স্ট টিম। ডাবল ডিজিট যদি দেখা যায়, যে বাংলা এখন পর্যন্ত ফুল সিজনে আসলে অ্যাওয়েতে 9টা ডবল ডিজিট কনসিড করছে। এটাই বোঝা যাচ্ছে যে আসলে বার্নলের ডিফেন্সিভ যে রেকর্ডটা, সেটা আসলে অন্যান্য টিমের চাইতে যথেষ্ট খারাপ। লাইক যদি আমি অন্য টিমগুলোর ক্ষেত্রে আসি, সাকার অপোনেন্ট হলো ফরেস্ট। ফরেস্ট কিন্তু এই জায়গাটাতে আসলে হোমে কিন্তু তাদের পারফরমেন্স দুর্দান্ত। আমি যদি দেখি যে তাদের পারফরমেন্স গুলা, যেমন দেখেন যদি ডবল ডিজিট কনসিডটা যদি দেখি আমি, যে অনলি 3টা ডবল ডিজিট কনসিড করছে ফরেস্ট হোমে। তো এটা দিয়ে বোঝা যাচ্ছে যে হোমে আসলে ফরেস্টের পারফরমেন্সটা ডিফেন্সিভ ওয়াইজ কতটা স্ট্রং। বোয়েনের অপোনেন্ট বর্নমাউথে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে এখানে ডিফেন্সিভ ওয়াইজ লাস্ট 6 ম্যাচে খুবই ভালো করছে তারা। আহ, যে জিনিসটা হলো 3টা ক্লিন শিট রাখছে, যেটা হলো খুবই ভালো। অন এক্সিসি যদি দেখা যায় 7.35, 16th র্যাঙ্ক, 7.4 হলো তার ওয়ান টার্গেট এক্সিসি, যেটা 14th র্যাঙ্ক, 26 শট কনসিড করছে, যেটা 14th র্যাঙ্ক পোস্টের দিক থেকে। 7.3 মিনিট পার 7 মিনিট পর পর তারা চান্স কনসিড করছে, যেটা হলো 11তম ওয়ার্স্ট র্যাঙ্ক। বিগ চান্স কনসিড করছে 8টা, অর্থাৎ এখানে হলো খুবই ভালো, যে 19তম র্যাঙ্ক। তো এখানে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে বর্নমাউথের ডিফেন্সিভ পারফরমেন্সটা লাস্ট 6 ম্যাচে যথেষ্ট ভালো। রিচার্লিসনের অপোনেন্ট ব্রেন্টফোর্ড, আমরা রিচার্লিসনকে এখানে একটা ডিফারেন্সিয়াল ক্যাপ্টেন হিসেবে চিন্তা করতে পারি। যে ডিফারেন্সিয়াল ক্যাপ্টেন ব্রেন্টফোর্ড হলো লাস্ট যে ম্যাচগুলো হয়েছে 6টা ম্যাচ, সেখানে সবচেয়ে বেশি অন্যান্য টিমের চেয়ে গোল খাইছে, যে 14টা গোল খাইছে, সেকেন্ড ওয়ার্স্ট র্যাঙ্ক। এবং আর রেকর্ড গুলো যদি দেখি, যেমন বিগ চান্স কনসিড, অন টার্গেট শর্ট কনসিড, এই জায়গাগুলো তো আসলে ব্রেনফোর্ড অ্যাওয়েতে যথেষ্ট খারাপ করতেছে। তো আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে এই 4জনের মধ্য থেকে আমরা একজনকে সিলেক্ট করতে পারি, যেমন আলভারেজ, সাকা, বুয়েনা, রিচার্লিসন। এছাড়াও আসলে অনেক প্লেয়ার আছে যাদেরকে আসলে এই গেমকে আসলে ডিফারেন্সিয়াল হিসেবে আমরা কাজ করতে পারি, যে ডিফারেন্সিয়াল প্লেয়ার যাকে ক্যাপ্টেন দেওয়া যায়। এইরকম অনেক যেমন লাইক Jota could be a very good differential option. Even Foden could be a very good differential option, I think. আহ, এরকম আসলে অনেক প্লেয়ারই আছে যাদেরকে আসলে ডিফারেন্সিয়াল, যেহেতু বড় বড় প্লেয়াররা, যেমন ওয়াটকিন্স এর খেলাটা হইলো একটু টাফ ম্যাচ। আমি যদি দেখি যে ওয়াটকিন্স খেলবে হইলো সম্ভবত নিউক্যাসলের সাথে। তো এখানে অনেক হাই ওনারশিপ প্লেয়াররা আসলে একটু শক্ত অপোনেন্টের সাথে খেলতে, সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমি বলি যে যেহেতু হ্যালান্ড এবং সালার অনুপস্থিতি, এই জায়গাগুলোতে আসলে অনেকের টিমে কেডিবি আছে। কেডিবি একটা ডিফারেন্সিয়াল অপশন, বাট কেডিবির ক্ষেত্রে যেটা আসলে আপডেট গুলো আমরা জানলাম একটু আগে, যেটা নাজিম এবং আশফাকের কাছ থেকে, সেটা একটু মাথার মধ্যে রাখতে হবে, যে আসলে কেডিবি আসলে ফুল মিনিট খেলবে কিনা, বা এরকম সামথিং লাইক। সো এনিওয়ে, আমি মনে হয় যে ক্যাপ্টেনশিপের ক্ষেত্রে এই গেমিংটা আসলে অনেকটা ওপেন ওয়াইড। সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমি যাদের আলভারেজ আছে, আমি ডেফিনেটলি সাজেস্ট করবো আলভারেজ ইজ এ টপ ক্যাপ্টেন কন্টিনেন্ট এই গেমিং এর জন্য। সো ওভার টু ইউ, নাদি।
Thanks, Parvez.
Uh,
Thanks.
I have two things
Go on.
to say regarding the captaincy part. So first of all, I have one update on KDB that Pep has mentioned regarding KDB, that KDB is ready to play the 90 minutes. He's easing him into the team, but nevertheless, he mentioned specifically that KDB is ready to play the 90 minutes, which goes to suggest that maybe, because he lacks match fitness, maybe Pep might let him have a run, let him have a go at a full match rather than having his minutes managed. My next question is, could you go to the slide, please?
Yeah, just a second.
So, provided suppose that you have you have already three midfielders from this section. You already own three of them. The other popular options that most managers would likely have would be Palmer, obviously, because Palmer is a great budget option to pick. The next popular budget option is obviously Gordon. So suppose, for the managers out there, or a question to both of you, if KDB is a good prospect for captaincy because of Pep's statement. That is one. And another thing is that he wasn't started in the last game. He came off the bench, which means KDB is adequately rested as well. And against Burnley, he might do some damage. So I think KDB is a good captaincy prospect, and also a differential captaincy prospect for those who want to, catch up or gain some rank. He's a better, I think, captaincy prospect than we are giving him credit for. So my question would be that, if provided you have Saka, Bowen, Richarlison, and the other popular two options in Palmer and Gordon, and you wanted to bring in KDB to give him the captaincy, for this game week, who would you sacrifice?
For me, it's easy. For me, it's very easy. If I have to bring in KDB, and if I have to sell out of these 3 or 4 players, not 4, 3 is in fact the ones you mentioned, Ashfaq, I would sell
There's also
Saka.
Palmer and Gordon.
Yeah,
Popular
but I would
picks.
sell Saka. I would sell Saka. Now, I would sell Saka. Easy for me. Easy decision. Easy peasy any day. Now, why I would tell you, I think Saka's underlying stats is very good, but I'm not talking about the underlying stats here. I think what's the problem is, I think the last game week was a clear evidence of where Saka is. And I think this is something that Sankalp, when he last joined, reminded us several occasions. He repeatedly made it very clear that Saka is not a double-digit player. Saka is somebody who will give you 7 and 8 and slowly toddle around. And then comes game weeks like last week, where he will get an assist, but then it will be removed away. And later on, it will be given, but FPL will not give you that point. Yeah. So
March
for
last
me,
last last season.
yeah, but
I
I'm
own
not getting
March.
into that. I'm not getting into that. What I'm trying to say is it's very simple. If you have Saka, you're likely to get 7, 8 points. Yeah. With KDB, the explosion is high. Now, we have already been very slow with KDB. Yeah. He has had 3 price rises already. Yeah. He's 10.6 now, 20% ownership. So if he bangs, he's going to hurt you. So that's why I was talking about KDB. So KDB should be your first priority in terms of transfers from Manchester City this week. They're playing Burnley. If not, then get Foden. Yeah. But if you're getting KDB, I would captain KDB and I would sell Saka. Easy. Easy for me. That's my logic. Parvez?
Parvez bhai?
আসলে এটা ওইরকম গল্প একটা মনে পড়লো যে আসলে আমাকে এই কোশ্চেনটা যখন ঘুরে আসলো, তো অনেক আগে আমরা ছোট থাকতে একটা গল্প করছিলাম যে কয়েকটা অন্ধ লোককে একটা হাতিকে দেখতে বলা হয়েছিল। তো একজন সুর ধরছিল, একজন লেজ ধরছিল, যে যে জায়গা ধরছিল সে সেই জায়গায় বলতো যে হাতি হলো এইরকম। তো আমার অবস্থাটা আসলে ওইরকমই, যে আসলে যে যেটাই বলবে যে সাকাকে না ইয়া, তো আমার কাছে ওই টাইপেরই জিনিস মনে হচ্ছে এখন। কাকে বাদ দিব?
Oh, Parvez, that was that was classic. That is FPL moment. My goodness me. Brilliant, Parvez. Oh God. That's hilarious. So-
চোখ দিয়ে পানি বেড়ে গেছে।
that is brilliant. A top class analogy. I swear on God, this should be made into a reel. Yeah, this should be made into a reel. Okay, all right, Parvez. But over to you. Still, which part do you want to hold? Sur, kan, nak, gola, hat, pa, and say hati is like this.
রাইট। এই মুহূর্তে আমার কাছে যেটা মনে হয় যে ইনজুরি আপডেট বা বিভিন্ন জিনিস নিয়ে যে জিনিসটা আমার কাছে ক্লিয়ার হয়েছে, যে যাদের টিমে আসলে সন বা সালা আছে, ডেফিনেটলি তাদের জন্য খুবই ইজি ব্যাপারটা, তাদের কাছ থেকে ইজিলি কেডিবিতে যাওয়া যায়। বাট কোয়েশ্চেন হলো যাদের কাছে এই প্লেয়ার গুলো নাই, লাইক বোয়েন যাদের কাছে আছে, সাকা আছে, এইরকম প্লেয়ার আছে, সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে হ্যাঁ, আহ, এটা হলো একটা অপশন যেখানে আসলে কেডিবি কে আনার জন্য আসলে সাকা একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট জায়গা, যে জায়গাটাতে আসলে আমরা কেডিবি কে ইনভলভ করতে পারি, যাদের আসলে পালমার, গর্ডন বা সব প্লেয়ার আছে। কারণ সামনের দিকে আসলে গর্ডন, পালমারের ফিকচারও ভালো হয়ে যাবে। সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমি সাকাকেই এখানে রাখবো যে চপিং লিস্টে, যে সাকা থেকে আসলে কেডিবি যাওয়াটা মনে হয় বেশি ভালো হবে। কারণ সাকা ওভার টু এই সিজনের মধ্যে এখন পর্যন্ত তার যে ডবল ডিজিট, অনলি 2 না 1 কি 2 এরকম ডবল ডিজিটে স্কোর করছে। সো আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে এটা সাকা টু কেডিবি যে গুড ট্রান্সফার।
Okay. Any other questions, Ashfaq? Or should we
No,
go to
no,
the
that's
real
about it.
questions now? Okay.
Yes, please.
All right, guys. So we have covered most of the players. We have covered the double game week and the blank game week scenario. So that's the FPL landscape we find ourselves after 3 weeks and a long, stretched, grueling, slow poisoning, killing, Saka assist, Saka captain, Palmer captain, Salah blank, Haaland blank, KDB out of the blue. All this happened over, unfolded over God knows how many weeks. But anyway, um, that's that. All right. So let's go to the question answers. Thank you so much, everyone, for sending the questions. We'll now get straight away to the questions. Arabic Bhai has joined us and he says, Assalamu alaikum, Bhai brothers. Wa alaikum assalam, brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Then Arabic Bhai says, Salah keeper sell. Ashfaq, you give the Salah update.
Salah, I think, is a straightforward sell because we don't see him coming back till game week 25. Game week 26 is a blank for him. So ideally, he probably won't be back before game week 27. So I think selling him at his price range, selling him is a priority for most managers.
Okay, so because Parvez said like he's the blind guy who doesn't know exactly which part of the elephant he's touching and how big the elephant looks like or what the elephant looks like, we will only give him questions that he can answer. Otherwise, we will try to distribute the questions between us. But again, not that we will not send any questions to, but topics that we covered, Ashfaq, let's try to cover it and then we can give some of the topics also to Parvez to cover. Okay. Nigel Shujan says, after a long time, brothers. Yes, after a very, very long time. 3 weeks looks like 3 months. I swear on God. Yeah. 3 weeks look like 3 months. Okay. Now, this one is from Arabic by Alvarez out, Haaland in. I would say no. I would say no at this moment. I don't think so. Haaland would be playing 90 minutes against Burnley. I would say if he does play 90 minutes or if he does play 60 minutes even, that would happen in game week 23. And in game week 22, Alvarez is likely to play with, most likely to play with, play against Burnley. He's on penalties and he's a good captain option. So I would suggest that you keep Alvarez and don't bring in Haaland. Yeah. Okay.
এই ক্ষেত্রে একটা ভালো জিনিস করা যেতে পারে, যেহেতু নাদিম আসলে ওইভাবে আমার কাছে, আমি যেহেতু একটু ব্ল্যাঙ্ক আউট, সো আমি মনে হয় এই কোশ্চেন গুলা দুইজনের কাছে নিয়ে আসলে এটা সবচেয়ে বেটার হবে, রাইট?
Okay, Parvez. Thanks. You
Yeah.
do
ঠিক
that.
আছে,
You take
তাহলে
the hosting now.
ওকে, তাহলে পরের কোশ্চেনটা আপনি নাজিম ভাই দিয়ে স্টার্ট করেন, আমার মনে হয় বেটার হয়।
No. It starts with you, Ashwin. It starts with you.
So
I just answered.
সো নেক্সট কোশ্চেনটা আমরা চলে যাব হইলো জাহানুল ইসলাম ভাইয়ের কোশ্চেন। সো আমার মনে হয় যে ব্যাংকে আছে 13.9, আরিওলা, লিনো, টিমের মধ্যে আছে গ্যাব্রিয়েল, কলউইল, কনসা, টেইলর, ল্যাসেলস, মিডফিল্ডে ফর্টেন ক্যাপ্টেন হিসেবে চুজ করছে, দেন সাকা, পালমার, বোয়েন, গর্ডন, সোলাঙ্কি, কুনহা, ওয়াটকিন্স। নো ফ্রি ট্রান্সফার অ্যাভেলেবেল। কাকে চেঞ্জ করব হিট নিয়ে ভাই, হিট নিয়ে কাকে চেঞ্জ করবো, দেখ এটা হলো তার কোশ্চেন। কোনো ফ্রি ট্রান্সফার অ্যাভেলেবেল নাই।
This is a decent team, but I think what you're missing is City assets. So I think City assets this week is a priority for most managers because City assets will likely be high on captaincy options. So I don't know your bank balance in this
No, it's
team. So
13.9, Ashfaq.
right, sorry, bank 13.9. So in that case, you can afford literally anyone. So you already have Foden. Sorry, I didn't notice Foden. Your captaincy: Foden, Palmer, Bowen, Gordon, Solanke, Konya. Uh, if you are looking for a looking to play differential, you're set on taking the hit, then I would suggest to bring in KDB, because KDB, I think the upside of having KDB in your team would be really really high. Like I said, the argument for this is that he's still relatively low owned. He was rested in the FA Cup, so he's fresh. And also, Pep hinted that he will play. He's likely to play 90 minutes, or he's ready to play 90 minutes, which gives us a hint that he will likely get more minutes that we were probably expecting. So, I think, like Nadim Bhai said, that Saka to some extent is expendable. I would do probably Saka to KDB and play a 3-4-3.
Right.
Just
Thank you.
one point, Janul Islam bhai. I'm not disagreeing with Ashfaq, but what I'm trying to tell you is, while you do that, also try and see next week if you can bring Watkins or Cunha or Solanke, if you can sell one of them and bring in Haaland. Just check that before you confirm the transfer of KDB, Saka to KDB. Yeah, it should be possible because you have 13.9 million. And if you sell Saka and bring in KDB, and if you try and sell somebody else from the strikers to bring in Haaland next week, then if you see it's possible and you have more than 0.3 million in the balance, then go ahead with the KDB's Saka transfer, and then you can do that Haaland to other one next week. Yeah, just a reminder.
থ্যাংক ইউ নাজিম এবং আশফাক দুজনকে এই কোশ্চেনের আলোকপাত করার জন্য। সো নেক্সট কোশ্চেনটা আসলে কোশ্চেন না, সামথিং লাইক একটা কমেন্ট, যে আজকে লাইভ শুরু হয়েছে আশফাক ভাইয়ের হাসি দিয়ে, ইন্টারেস্টিং হয়ে গেল লাইভ। তো আসলে ইন্টারেস্টিং হয়ে গেল যে আসলে অনেকদিন পর আসলে আশফাকের হাসি দিয়ে আসলে আমরা এই গেমিংটা শুরু করতে পারতেছি, হুইচ ইজ ভেরি গুড। কারণ আশফাক হলো এই সিজনে মোটামুটি আমাদের গ্রুপেও এবং ওভারঅল এফপিএল এ মোটামুটি তার ওভারঅল র্যাঙ্কটা হলো 1 লাখের ভিতরে, সম্ভবত মোস্ট লাইকলি 50,000 বা সামথিং লাইক এরকম, আরো নিচে আমি হয়তো জানি না।
Look at it.
বোঝা যাচ্ছে যে আশফাক আসলে ইন্টারেস্টিং হয়ে গেল।
না আমার র্যাঙ্ক ভালো ছিল, পরে নাদিম ভাই নজর লাগাইছে বলে 30,000 কমে গেছে। তো আই এম এট 90,000 I think right now. I was 60,000 I think, then I'm 90,000.
Right. So,
did anyone notice he was blushing? Did anyone notice that Ashfaq was actually blushing when Parvez was saying that he has a good rank?
আমার স্কিন কালারে ব্লাশটা আসে না, এটা
Oh God, no, we're not getting into this. Ashfaq. I'm not getting into no comments, absolutely no comments.
So next question আসলে আশরাফুল আরিফিন ভাইয়ের, এটা যাবে নাদিমের কাছে। So question হলো,
আমিন আল্লাহ,
ব্যাংকে 8.1 মিলিয়ন আছে, তার প্ল্যান হলো 352, এই প্ল্যানে তার টিমটা সাজা, একটা ট্রান্সফার লেফট আছে, অর্থাৎ ফ্রি ট্রান্সফার মোস্ট লাইকলি। মার্টিনেজ, সানচেজ যদি ইনজুর্ড, ব্রাথওয়েট, এস্টুপিনান, গুই এবং সে বেঞ্চে রাখতে যাচ্ছে ক্যাশ এবং ইনজুর্ড ল্যাসেলসকে, ক্যাপ্টেন রাখতে যাচ্ছে বোয়েনকে, দেন সাকাকে ভাইস ক্যাপ্টেন, পালমার, গর্ডন, গ্রস, হ্যালান্ড, যেখানে ইনজুরি সাইন দিয়ে দিয়েছে, হ্যালান্ড ইনজুরি, জোয়া পেড্রো এবং এনকোকু, তার টিমের মধ্যে এনকোকু আছে যে ইনজুর্ড। সো কোশ্চেনটা আসলে এখানে কি, সেটা হলো একটা ব্যাপার। আই থিঙ্ক যে এই টিমটাকে আসলে কিভাবে কি করা যায়, এইরকম হয়তো বা তার সাজেশন একটা যাচ্ছে। সো হোয়াট ডু ইউ নাদিম?
Well, thanks, brother. It looks really like your team is set for wild card, but that's not what I would suggest. First thing, no wild card for your team. Yeah, do not play your wild card. You would waste it, because we are really getting into a very complex FPL landscape where things with more information you have, the more powerful you are. Less information you have, and you will be a poor trodden someone walking in the street with no clothes on. Yeah, so that's not the situation you should find yourself in this cold, chilly winter. So no wild card for you. Let's look at the injuries first. You have Sanchez, who's injured. You have Lascelles Cash, who's injured, and you have Nkuku, who is injured. Haaland is not injured anymore. Okay. So if you have Nkuku injured, you have Lascelles and Cash injured, and you have Sanchez injured. Don't worry about Sanchez because you have Martinez still playing, which is fine. So you still have your one goalkeeper. You have Brathwaite, Estupinian, Guehi. That's 3 defenders. Now Cash and Lascelles is the two ones you want to focus. 352. That's two is Haaland and João Pedro. So you can go for two transfers. Yeah, you can take a -4. You can take a -4, or you can just take one transfer. You can just make one transfer and you decide. I leave this to you. If you take just use one transfer, I would suggest you sell Nkunku first. Yeah, get him out. Get him out and get Alvarez in. That would be my suggestion. Get Alvarez in for this game week. Yeah, because even in game week 25, Alvarez is likely to play, and you will, by the time game week 25 comes, you will have three Man City assets because you already have Haaland. If you get in Alvarez for Nkunku, you have two. By game week 25, you'll have Manchester City's three assets, so it could be somebody else, depending. And then for Cash and Lascelles, I would suggest that you sell one of them for now, and perhaps look at the possibility of bringing in Trent Alexander-Arnold. If it is not possible, if Trent is too expensive for you, then I would suggest you go in for Kyle Walker from City, and that would make you three transfers, three City players, and you're ready for the double game week 25. But I don't see any Liverpool player, so my suggestion would be most on Trent Alexander-Arnold here, because you need to have at least one cover because they have a double game week as well. So yeah, that's that. Most likely they will have a double game week in 25. So that's something you need to keep in mind on. And even if it is one player they have a blank in 26, you can bench him and you can play the others. Yeah. So that would be my two transfer suggestions for you. Depends on which priority you want to go. But my first priority would be Nkunku to Alvarez. And from Cash and Lascelles, one of them, whoever is the most expensive one, sell him and try to see if you have the budget to bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold this week or next week. Yeah.
থ্যাংক ইউ নাজিম। আসলে আমরা মোটামুটি নাজিমের কাছ থেকে একটা ভালো জিনিস আমরা অনেকক্ষণ ধরে শুনলাম। আই থিঙ্ক আশফাক এটা দিয়ে একটু ঘড়ির দিকেও তাকাইছিল।
emphasis on অনেকক্ষণ।
রাইট। সো নেক্সট কোশ্চেন, আই থিঙ্ক কোশ্চেন না, এটা হলো একজন কমেন্ট করছে আমিনুল ইসলাম ভাই।
না এটা কোশ্চেন।
Yeah, question. No, এটা কোশ্চেন না, কারণ
যে
পাশে যে ইমোজিটা দেওয়া আছে সেটা হলো একটা সেন্টার ফ্রেশ খাওয়া লোক আর কি মুখের মধ্যে চেন লাগায় আছে।
It's a comment.
It's a comment. রাহুল জিমেনেজ ক্যাপ্টেন।
Good luck with that.
কোশ্চেনটা যাচ্ছিল আশফাকের কাছে, which is that's why আশফাক এই জিনিসটাকে বললো যে এটা হলো কোশ্চেন। এটা কোশ্চেন না, এইটা আসলে কোশ্চেন। This is the question. So sorry for রচনা। আসলে সরি বলার কিছু নাই। এখন আপনি যখন কোশ্চেনটা করছেন 11:28, সো নাহিদার সুজন ভাই এবং অন্যান্য ভিউয়ার্সদের ক্ষেত্রে এই জিনিসটা বললাম যে আমাদের টাইম আজকে দেওয়া আছে যে 11:50 পর্যন্ত আমরা যেই রচনা হোক আর যেটাই হোক এটা যদি দেন তাহলে সেটার জন্য সরি বলার কিছু নাই। আফটার 11:50 এটার পরে এরা পরে যদি কেউ দেয় তাহলে সেক্ষেত্রে সরি জিনিসটা উল্লেখ করতে পারে। সামথিং লাইক 11:51 যে কোশ্চেন করে তখন সরি বলতে পারে। বাট যেহেতু আপনি 11:50 আগে কোশ্চেন করছেন, সো রচনার জন্য হোক আর যে কোনো কারণেই হোক সরি বলার কোনো দরকার নেই। সো কোশ্চেনটা হলো গোলকিপার অ্যারিওলা এবং টার্নার, ডিফেন্সে ট্রিপিয়ার, পোরো, বেলডক, সেনেসি, গুস্তো, and midfield আছে বোয়েন, গ্রস, সাকা, গর্ডন, পালমার, ফরওয়ার্ড সেশনে মুবামা, ওয়াটকিনস এন্ড আলভারেস। ব্যাংকে আছে 14.8 মিলিয়ন। আসলে এই প্রাইস পয়েন্ট যে আপনার ব্যাংকে আছে এই প্রাইজের কোনো প্লেয়ারও নাই, এর চাইতে সবাই কম রেঞ্জের প্লেয়ার। সো ফ্রি ট্রান্সফার একটা সাকা টু কেডিবি করতে যাচ্ছেন, আর হ্যালান্ডকে খেললে -4 দিয়ে আলভারেস টু হ্যালান্ড করবো নাকি এই উইকে? আলভারেস এন্ড দেন কোশ্চেন, আলভারেস হোল্ড করবো নাকি? এনি সাজেশন মাই প্লেইং 11? আচ্ছা, প্লেইং 11টাও সাজাইতে বলছে এবং তার সাথে কয়েকটা কোশ্চেন করছে। সো হোয়াট ডু ইউ আশফাক?
First of all, obviously regarding your playing 11, you should play a 3-5-2. Areola plays Bournemouth, I think, so I think go with Areola. Followed by Trippier, Porro. I would play Senesi. She has a bit of a goal threat. That is why I would play Senesi. Sheffield United defensively is one of the worst teams in the league, so I would not go for Baldock. And Gusto plays Liverpool away, so Chelsea again, I think will concede. So I would not play Gusto. So those are the three defenders for you: Trippier, Porro, and Senesi. I would play all five midfielders: Bowen, Gross, Saka, Gordon, Palmer, followed by Watkins and Alvarez. Regarding your fee transfer, Saka to KDB, like uh, Nadim Bhai mentioned, that I think makes sense. Uh, he's also a great differential shot. I think we made our case. I already made our case for having KDB in the team. It's a logical transfer for me. I would recommend it. Again, regarding Haaland, I would not recommend taking a minus hit for Haaland because we don't know the current scenario of his fitness as of now. Because Pep has previously said that his foot injury is a bit tricky. He has he had rejoined he had started light training, then followed by full training, but there is no indication whether he will start the next game week or not. There is no indication of that. He was thought to be fit for the FA Cup clash, but he wasn't fit enough to make the bench even. So we don't know the current scenario regarding Haaland is. Once you see that Haaland has started a game, then I think only then you should consider taking Haaland in your team, not before, not make a rash decision or an uninformed decision before that. So hold Alvarez, KDB to Saka to KDB makes sense, and play a 3-5-2. Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ আশফাক। আসলে কোশ্চেন অনেকগুলো কোশ্চেন ছিল এই প্রশ্নটার মধ্যে এবং খুব তাড়াতাড়ি কোশ্চেনটার অ্যান্সার করার জন্য ভেরি ভেরি গুড, মানে ভেরি ভেরি থ্যাংক ইউ। তো নেক্সট কোশ্চেনটাতে চলে যাব আমরা, যেটা হলো নাদিমের কাছে যাবে। আহমেদ রাজ ভাইয়ের সাজেশন চাইছিস নিয়ে একটা ডিফেন্স আছে গ্যাব্রিয়েল, রাসেল, টেইলর, টিএ, কলিন এবং মিডফিল্ডে আছে রিচার্লিসন, ফর্ডেন,
Go to the next question. It's the extension of the same question.
I think so. আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে
this one.
So and forward as Watkins, Solanke, Archer. What will be my priority transfer? Wanna play safe, overall rank 1.5k, অর্থাৎ তার পজিশন কিন্তু খুব ভালো অবস্থায় আছে। সো নাদিম যেহেতু মোটামুটি ভালো একটা আপডেটেড পজিশনে আছে গেমিং 22 এর আগে, সো ওভার টু ইউ নাদিম।
Thanks, Parvez. Thanks, Ahmed Razbhai. Your team looks good, except Lascelles and Taylor, but I can see why you still have them. I don't know your budget though, so I'm not sure what budget you have. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know your budget.
He has an overall rank of 1.5k. He should be suggesting you.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the whole truth and nothing but the truth, to be honest. But anyway, since he's asked, I'll try and be courteous. Yeah, I'll try and be courteous, but I can be entirely wrong. Otherwise, I would be in 1.5, right? I'm not. Anyway, jokes aside, I don't know your budget. So, Ahmed Razbhai, because I don't know your budget, I wouldn't suggest, because others, I really don't see any problems in your team at this moment. Lascelles and Taylor as the only two problems that I see. Beside that, midfield, I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with your defense, Gabriel, Tia, and Colville. Although Colville can go later on, but Watkins and Solanke and Archer. I would suggest you hold your transfer for now. Play safe. Yeah. Play safe, and you will have next week 2 free transfers with more information. And then you can start making moves for the double game week 25 with Man City. And by then you'll have a little bit more update on Salah, but also you'll have a more clarity on City blank game week as well. So yeah, that would be that. Yeah, so I would suggest you hold for now. Yeah.
So thank you নাজিম। নেক্সট কোশ্চেনটা যাচ্ছে হলো আশফাকের কাছে এবং এটা করছে হলো মারুফ মুক্তাদির খান। মারুফ মুক্তাদির খানের কোশ্চেনটা হলো তার মিডফিল্ডারকে বলছে সাকা, পালমার, ফর্ডেন, বোয়েন, গার্নাচো, should I transfer out Saka for KDB or Jota, or should I bring back Haaland in place of Alvarez or Solanke? One free transfer only. So Ashfaq.
Mark Mukhtadir bhai, first of all, like we mentioned that regarding Haaland, I think it's wise to proceed with caution. We thought he would be fit for the FA Cup tie. He wasn't fit for the FA Cup tie. He wasn't fit enough to make the bench even. So we do not have clarity on to how good his current scenario is. Pep has previously mentioned it's a tricky injury, so he will likely be eased back, or Pep is, City is proceeding with caution regarding his fitness. So we don't even know if he's match fit or how fit he is, but we know that he has joined full training. But we do not have an indication whether he will start the next game with not or not. So I think it would be unwise to bring in Haaland without an uninformed decision. So regarding Haaland, it would be a no for us. But on the other hand, Saka for KDB or Jota makes complete sense. Uh, for KDB, between KDB and Jota, I would rather go for KDB. He's, I think, has the more upside onto being more explosive. He's still relatively differential. He's a bit of a differential. He's a great captaincy option this week as well. So Jota, on the other hand, on paper has a tougher opponent in Chelsea, but Chelsea has not been defensively solid. So Jota in his own is a good shout anyway. He also scored yesterday, I think. So he's someone who's on form. But between them, I still would rather take KDB because to me he seems, based on his last game, he seems more hungry and explosive. So Saka to KDB makes sense. Haaland not so much.
So থ্যাংক ইউ আশফাক। নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেনটা নাদিমের কাছে, এবং এটা করছে হলো আমরা ওয়ান ফ্রি ট্রান্সফার হ্যালান্ডকে ইন করব নাকি হোল্ড করব, সাকা টু কেডিবি কেমন হয়? So নাদিম।
Yeah, Abra Sharia, I would say hold on for Haaland now. I don't think so. Haaland should be a rush unless you are trying to get a -4. Yeah. But Saka to KDB is a good idea. Saka to KDB, I would do it. I would definitely do it. So if you have one free transfer and you use it, I think Saka to KDB would be the one I would prioritize first. And next week, I would prioritize Haaland. Yeah. But when you do the Saka to KDB, just check that you have enough money in your bank to bring in Haaland next week. Just check that before you confirm the transfer to Saka to KDB.
রাইট, সো থ্যাংক ইউ নাদিম। নেক্সট কোশ্চেনটা আবারও আশফাকের কাছে, এবং এটা একটা বড় কোশ্চেন ইস্তিয়াক আমিন সিয়াম ভাইয়ের।
ষড়যন্ত্র।
Some people are worthy. Some people are worthy of the big questions. I am not. I'm supposed to be a host. So some people, they're good enough.
সো কোয়েশ্চেনটা আমি বলি, 7.3 মিলিয়ন এরিওলা, তার ডিফেন্স গোলকিপার হলো এরিওলা এবং ডুব্রাকা, পেড্রো পোরো, দেন গুস্টো, গ্যাব্রিয়েল এস্টুপিনান, বেলডক, সন, সাকা, পালমার, সালা, ফডেন, সোলাঙ্কি, আর্চার, ওয়াটকিন্স। ওয়ান ফ্রি ট্রান্সফার অ্যাভেলেবল, কাকে ট্রান্সফার করবো ভাই?
I think it's a very straightforward equation regarding your team. Bring in KDB for Salah, play a 3-5-2. Play Pedro Porro, Gabriel, and Estopinian. Sorry, you have Son already. I did not notice Son.
Yeah.
You have one FT. Okay, that means it's a bit different. Son, Salah, KDB, Karcher, Gabriel, Gusto, Baldock, Foden. Who does Sheffield play this week?
Sheffield, right?
Just a second.
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Okay, Crystal Palace at home. Sheffield plays away. So I think I would play at 4-4-2. Bring in KDB for Salah. Play Pedro Porro, Gusto, Gabriel Estupinian, Saka, Palmer, KDB, Foden, Solanke, and Watkins. Archer would be my first sub, followed by maybe Baldock, and Son is not playing, obviously. Son should be another priority transfer in your team. But this week, I think Salah to KDB would make more sense. Pick your captaincy between Foden or KDB. I think KDB seems more explosive. It is the more explosive pick, so I think you might go with that. So with this team, I think you can play a 4-4-2.
So থ্যাংক ইউ না আশফাক। নেক্সট কোশ্চেন না, এটা আসলে আমাদের একটা যখন পরে ডিসকাশন চলতেছিল সেই ক্ষেত্রে কমেন্ট করছিল আসলে ইজ ইট
Right, right. It was me when I was discussing Salah, right?
রাইট তখন হয়তো বা এই কমেন্ট আসছে। তো নেক্সট আসলে এক্স্যাক্টলি যে কোশ্চেনটা সেটা হলো নাদিমের কাছে যেতে যাচ্ছে।
আমিন।
যেহেতু আহসান ভাইয়ের হলো গোলকিপার অ্যারিওলা ডুব্রাকা, ডিফেন্স আছে গ্যাব্রিয়েল গুস্তো সেনেসি ট্রেন্ট টেইলর, মিডফিল্ডে গর্ডন ফর্ডন পালমার সাকা সন। So Pedro Solanke Watkins the forward, 9.2 million in the bank, no free transfer. How should I move brother? কিভাবে আসলে এখান থেকে উদ্ধার পাবে এটা আসলে নাদিমের কাছ থেকে আমরা জানতে চাচ্ছি। So over to you নাদিম।
Thanks, Parvez. Dipta Hassan Bhai, your solution is quite simple, but let me give you the landscape a little bit. You have Gusto, Chelsea, which blanks in game week 26. You have Senesi, who are likely to blank in game week 26 as well. You have Liverpool, Trent, who's also blanking in game week 26. You have Palmer, who's blanking in game week 26. You have Son, who's already absent. Yeah, so those are the players that you need to keep in mind that they are blanking in game week 26, but 26 is still far. You're focusing now on game week 22, but just keep in mind that any move that you make now will be very precious about what you are going to do in 26. So you need to think from now on how you're going to do it. Yeah, so just those players you need to keep in mind. Now, first, only transfer that you have, no free transfers. How should I move, brother? Oh, you have no free transfers. If you have no free transfers, then I would suggest you take a -4, and that -4 would be dependent on the Saudi Arabia versus South Korea game. If South Korea loses, you keep Son and you sell Saka. If South Korea loses, you sell Saka. If South Korea wins, then you sell Son. And in both the cases, being it Son or Saka, you bring in KDB. And you would be more or less very well prepared for game week 25
So
because you still have 40.
this is a bit ironic because the game against Korea and Saudi Arabia ends literally, at the deadline or past the deadline. The game is at 10. The game will probably end near 12 o'clock. The deadline is at 12 o'clock. So you'll have to wait till the last minute whether to decide on that. So it's pretty ironic regarding the scenario on Son, whether to keep him or sell him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's not me trying to time it, but that's how things have been timed. So yeah, the alternative would be Saka. And if you want to take a -4, I would sell Saka and bring in KDB, and you are starting to prepare yourself for game week 25. But if you do see that Son is continuing to kind of Asia Cup, then yeah, just sell Son immediately and then bring in KDB, and you still have that situation. But do keep in mind that a couple of your players are blanking in 26 and how you're going to handle that. Yeah. So you need to plan for 25 and 26 both. That's what I was trying to tell you in short. Yeah.
So
Over to you, Parvez.
থ্যাংক ইউ নাদিম। সো যে জিনিসটা আসলে যে আসলে এখানে টাইমিংটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট। আসলে এই জিনিসগুলো আসলে এপিএল এর মজাটা আরো একটু বাড়ায় দেয়। যে আসলে ওই মুহূর্তে খেলার কি পজিশন চলতেছে, ডেডলাইন চলে আসতেছে, কে আউট হবে কে আউট হবে। সো এনিওয়ে নেক্সট কোশ্চেনে চলে যাই জেবিন হাসান জিসান ভাইয়ের। যে কোশ্চেনটা হইলো আশফাকের কাছে। If Haaland is not available, Saka to KDB or hold Saka and save the free transfer. Already have foreign in my team. So if Haaland is available, Saka to KDB, Alvarez to Haaland -4. এটা করবে কিনা or any other suggestion? So what do you, Ashfaq?
Jevin Hassan Jisan Bhai, I think is having a stellar season. I'm not sure if I'm in a position to, advise him, but nevertheless, in this scenario, I don't think doubling up on City assets is a bad idea. City does have the double game week coming in game week 25, so even on the long run, it's not a bad transfer to have right now. KDB against Burnley can be devastating, I think, because he was benched last game week, so he's fresh. I think we already made a comprehensive argument regarding KDB's inclusion in the squad this game week. So I think again Saka to KDB makes sense, but taking a minus hit, I think uh, does not make sense. But regarding Haaland, I know most managers have their concerns on Haaland, but we do not yet have clarity on Haaland's situation right now, and we thought that he would at least be on the bench in the FA Cup tie, which he wasn't. So if people would want to bring him back before we have any kind of news, I think that would be an unwise decision. We should only bring in Haaland once we have seen that he's ready to start a game or play a full 90 minutes. Then we should have the plan to bring him back. And like Nadim bhai already mentioned that uh, regarding the scenario, if you do want to bring in Haaland, you should definitely have a plan or have the sufficient fund to bring Haaland back if he's fit in the next 2 game weeks. Because game week 25, if Haaland is fully fit, he will be a very very popular triple captaincy option. So you should have a plan in place to bring him in if he's fit. But nevertheless, Saka to KDB makes sense. -4, not so much. Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ আশফাক। নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেনে আমরা চলে যাবো নাইমুর রহমান নাইম ভাইয়ের। কোয়েশ্চেনটা
এটা
আসলে
comment.
কমেন্ট লাইক দেব যেহেতু বলছে কেডিপি ফুল ম্যাচ খেলার জন্য রেডি, সো এর মানে হলো কেডিপি হলো বেঞ্চ ফর শিওর। তো আসলে এটা পেপ স্যার পেপের জিনিসটা আসলে যদি কেউ ধরতে পারতো তাহলে তো আসলে সে আসলে খুবই বড় এফপিএল ম্যানেজার হয়ে যাইতো। অ্যাটলিস্ট ম্যানচেস্টার সিটি টিম লাইন আপ নিয়ে সে ভালো একটা ইয়া করতে পারতো। বাট এনিওয়ে আমার সেই জিনিসটাতে ফোকাস না করে নেক্সট কোশ্চেনে চলে যাই, যেটা হলো মোহাম্মদ আমিনুল ইসলাম আমিন ভাইয়ের। নাদিমের কাছে কোশ্চেন, হোয়াট অ্যাবাউট ফরেন ক্যাপ্টেন?
It's a good shout. It's a good shout. I would prioritize him even ahead of Alvarez, to be honest. I know Alvarez is tipping the scale a little bit because he's got penalties, but I think Foden has many more avenues to score points. And I think his underlying stats is good and he's playing really seriously. And I think he's an important player. So either we expect him to play as number 10 or on the right side. And I think that just increases his potential. And I think that if I remember, I'm not sure. Just give me just a second. Just give me a second.
Should we move on to the next question while we give him a second?
No. Yeah, I got it. So if Foden is to play on the left, if Foden is to play on the right side of City, which would be the left side of Burnley, he's considered. Burnley have actually considered 27 chances, and Foden is ranked 5th. So that makes Foden an interesting shout. But if he plays in the center, just behind Alvarez and Haaland, that would make him Burnley considered 29 chances through the center, and they are ranked 2nd. So if he plays number 10, he's playing in a position where Burnley are the weakest, and if he's playing on the right side, where Burnley is ranked 5th in terms of worst. So that would make Burnley Foden a very good captain shout. So I would agree with that, and I would drop him ahead of Alvarez captain as well. Yeah.
সো থ্যাংক ইউ নাদিম, আসলে জোনাল উইকনেসটা এখানে নিয়ে আসার জন্য, which is very important and very successful এই সিজনে। আসলে আমরা অলমোস্ট সিজনের মিডে আমরা যেটা করছিলাম যে 60% এর উপরে আমাদের জোনালটা অ্যাকুরেসি আসছে। সো জোনাল ওয়াইজ একটা ডিসকাশন হলো ফরেনের ক্যাপ্টেন নিয়ে, which is very important and very efficient আমার কাছে মনে হয় ক্যাপ্টেন্সি, যেহেতু এই ওয়ার্ল্ড ওয়াইড। সো নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেনটা নাইমুর রহমান নাইম ভাইয়ের। এই কোয়েশ্চেনটা করার পিছনে এই কোয়েশ্চেনটা নেওয়া উচিত ছিল না আমার, বাট সে একটা জিনিস হলো জাস্ট 1 মিনিটের জন্য ট্রেন মিস করছে, দ্যাটস ওয়াই আমি এখানে ধরে নিলাম যে সে ট্রেনের মধ্যে উঠছে। সো তার সরিটা আসলে অ্যাকসেপ্টেবল, কারণ সে হয়তোবা যখন এন্টার করছে সেই মুহূর্তে আসলে টাইমটা একটু ইয়া হয়ে গেছে। সো এনিওয়ে কোশ্চেনটাতে চলে যায়। সরি একটু দেরি হয়ে গেল ভাই। মাই টিম অ্যারিওলা, স্টুপিনান, জিনচিঙ্কো, পোরো, ফরেন Jota, Bowen, Palmer, Saka, Solanke, Watkins. Bench Dubravka, Moreno, Livramento. I think এটা লিব্রামেন্টোই। আর্চার ব্যাংকে আছে 11.5 মিলিয়ন, ফ্রি ট্রান্সফার একটা। হোয়াট শুড আই ডু? আমি কোশ্চেনটা আশফাকের কাছে দেওয়ার আগে আমি যে জিনিসটা করব সেটা হলো ঠিক এই কোশ্চেনটার সাথে আরো 3টা কোশ্চেন সে ইন দা মোমেন্টে করছে। আই থিঙ্ক ওই কোশ্চেনগুলা এই কোশ্চেনগুলোর সাথে রিলেটেড। আমি জাস্ট কোশ্চেনগুলোকে একটু নিয়ে আসলে মনে হয় আরো ইজি হবে। আর 2টা কোশ্চেন ছিল তার, সেটা হলো ওয়াটকিন্স টু টনি করব নাকি -4-এ সাকা টু কেডিবি অর কুডুসে করব, এইটা একটা ছিল। আর একটা জিনিস সে এই নাইমুর রহমান নাইম ভাই বলছে যে ওয়াটকিন্স টু টনি অর জোয়া পেড্রো, মানে সে আসলে কতটা কনফিউশনের মধ্যে একজন থাকলে এই ধরনের জিনিস হইতে পারে সেটা বোঝাই যাচ্ছে যে ওয়াটকিন্স যেহেতু 6 গেমকে দেয় নাই, সে টনি করবে না কুডুস করবে না আবার টনি করবে না জোয়া পেড্রো করবে, তার কাছে লটস অফ কোশ্চেন। আমার মনে হয় যে কোর কোশ্চেন আমি চলে যাই, দেন সেই জিনিসটাতে আসলে আশফাকের ফোকাসটা তাহলে ভালো হবে আরো। সো হোয়াট টু ইউ আশফাক?
Naimur Naim bhai, this is a great team that you have. Ariola, Estu, Zinco, Poro, Foden, Jotan, Bowden, Palmer, Saka, Solanke, Watkins, Branch, Moreno, Livra, Archer, Bank 11.1 FT. What to do? So Watkins plays at home against Newcastle, which is a good fixture for them because Newcastle's this season, although Newcastle has remarkably improved their position in Premier League overall, but they're notoriously bad away from home. So I fully expect Newcastle to concede, and Watkins being Watkins, well, the ownership of Watkins is still very high, and if Watkins scores, you don't own Watkins, you might lose a bit of points. So Watkins, in his own, is a decent player to have this week. I don't think Tony is a priority over Watkins this week. Bank is 11.5, so in which case we already made the argument for KDB, I think, or Alvarez. So you already have Foden in your team. I would prioritize another City attacker in your team because come game week 25, I think you will likely want to have 3 City assets in your team. So I think it's wiser to start early, especially against a weaker opposition like Burnley. I don't think you can go wrong there. So regarding your team, I would probably go with Saka to KDB and play the 3-5-2 because otherwise I think this is a decent team to have. So Ariola, Estuzinco, Poro, Foden, Jota, Bowen, Palmer, KDB, Solanke, Watkins, and leave the bench as it is.
তো আসলে নাইমুর রহমান নাইম ভাইয়ের যে কোশ্চেনটা সেকেন্ড পার্টটাতে গেছিল সেটাতে একটু ক্লিয়ারলি বোঝা গেল যে আশফাক যদি এখানে প্রেফার করতো তাহলে আসলে ওয়াটকিন্সকে ট্রান্সফার করে সাকা টু কেডিবি সামথিং লাগে এরকম করতো। বাট যদি ওয়াটকিন্সকে আউট করতে হইতো সেই কোশ্চেনটার অ্যান্সারটা আমি আশফাকের কাছে একটু জানতে চাইবো যে যদি ওয়াটকিন্সকে
Tony because he has a double game week in game week 25, so it's a transfer for the long run. So I would rather stick with Tony rather than rush to bring him in game week 24 again.
Right. Thank you Ashfaq. So next questionটা হলো নাদিমের কাছে, সাকা টু কেডিবি আর ফরেন টু কেডিবি?
Saka to KDB. I think that's easy. Not Foden to KDB. I would like to have Foden, KDB, and Haaland triple up for game week 25 if that's the ideal situation, if we can afford. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Nadim. So next questionটা না একটা আমাদের পুরো টিমের কাছে কোশ্চেন আসছে, সেটা হলো জোনাল ইউগনিসকে টুইটারে দেওয়া হবে। আই থিংক আজকে রাতেই আমরা
It's coming tonight.
সো এটার জন্য আসলে আমরা জানাই রাখলাম যে আজকে লেট নাইটে হয়তো বা এটার জন্য ইউগনিসটা টুইটারে আপলোড হবে। সো নেক্সট কোশ্চেনটা দেখতে অনেকটা বড়জনের মতন হলেও আসলে কোশ্চেনটা কিন্তু খুবই ইজি আমার কাছে মনে হয়। সেই জিনিসটা আসলে হোয়াট ইজ দ্য জাস্টিফিকেশন অফ স্টিল কিপিং সাকা হু হ্যাজ অ্যান এভারেজ অফ 3 পয়েন্ট পার গেম লাস্ট 6 গেমে? Is it time to take him out, especially with the likes of Palmer, KDB, Jota, all in such good form and fixture? So what to you, Ashfaq? আসলে সাকাকে এই মুহূর্তে রাখাটা
So I
কতটা
think
যৌক্তিক?
regarding the Saka argument, I raised it myself during the captaincy discussion, and Nadim bhai, made a point that Saka will probably tick along, but is not devastating, and give you double digit points like he used to. The thing with Saka is that most managers already has Saka, does not bring out Saka because I think because of his high ownership. Because most managers are likely afraid of if Saka does score big and you don't own Saka, probably maybe gives an assist, scores a penalty, like maybe he takes a corner, someone scores a header, and then Arsenal gets a penalty, he takes it, he gives a double digit, let's say 13 or 15 points, you don't own Saka, then I think because of his very high ownership, I think he's still the highest owned midfielder in FPL right now. So because of his high ownership, I think most people are hesitant to take him out. But like Nadim Bhai has a decent point there, that on the long run, if he's not giving points, that it doesn't make sense just to keep him because of his high ownership anyway. Because we want to go up in the rankings in FPL, and just because he has a high ownership, and if he's not delivering, just because out of fear factor, you're absolutely right that this is maybe the time we should consider taking Saka out and put in invest in other differential or decent options like KDB, Jota, Palmer, like you've mentioned.
Right.
You know what's the funny thing? I'll tell you. Now that we are all suggesting Saka sell, you would see Saka with a double digit score next to
If that is not classic FPL, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
But
so they're playing
এখানে
Nottingham
আসলে
Forest, so
এইখানে আসলে আরেকটা জিনিস খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট, যে আসলে এরকম ওনারশিপ আলা প্লেয়ার যখন একটু কম পয়েন্ট দিয়ে যাচ্ছে, সেক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু এই ধরনের ট্রান্সফার কিন্তু খুবই কার্যকরী হইতে পারে। যখন আসলে 60 বা সামথিং লাইক 55% ওনারশিপ প্লেয়ার, সে যদি আসলে কম পয়েন্ট দেয়, এবং সেই জায়গাটা যদি আমি জোতা বা কেডিবি কিনে একটা ভালো করতে পারি, তাহলে হেভিলি
No, I think a lot of people has the emotions kicking in because of the failed captaincy option, right? Saka,
রাইট
I think everyone expected to give them some points, but ended up giving 3 points or two. I forgot. People who
এবং
went
রাগটা
a
আরো
bit differential with Palmer, did better, like the
এবং
original host here.
সেই জিনিসটা আসলে রাগটা আরো তার উপর বেশি উঠছে যখন আসলে আর্সেনাল পেনাল্টি পায় এবং সাকা বলটা নিয়ে আরেকজনের হাতে উঠায় দেয়, সেই ক্ষেত্রে আসলে রাগটা তখন আরো বেশি উঠে যায়।
anyway, let's
তো
move to the next one.
নেক্সট কোশ্চেন, আমিনুল ইসলাম ভাইয়ের সালা টু কেডিবি, এটা কি করা
Yes,
হবে কিনা?
I would do it.
রাইট,
I would do it.
থ্যাংক ইউ নাজিম। এবং 86 AKM ফাহিম ভাই জাস্ট হয়তোবা কোশ্চেনটা করতে যায়, আমাদের নিচের রোলিংটা দেখছে যে 11:50 পরে রচনা করছেন, উনি রচনা কোশ্চেনের প্রস্তুতি নিয়েছিল, বাট তারপরে থামিয়ে গেছে, এরিয়ালা টার্নার বলে চুপ হয়ে গেছে। সো
Sorry,
আমরা
Fahim
ওই
bhai.
কোশ্চেনের থ্যাংক ইউ যে আসলে আপনি এই জিনিসটা ধরতে পারছেন বা বুঝতে পারছেন, এবং এরপরে যারা আসলে এই ধরনের কোশ্চেন করছে তাদের কাছে আমরা আসলে আন্তরিকভাবে সরি যে আসলে আপনারা টাইম মতন আমাদের পরে যোগ দিতে পারেন নাই। সো লাস্ট কোশ্চেনটা আমি চলে যাব, হলো কোনো ফেসবুক ইউজার, অর্থাৎ এখানে দেখাচ্ছে অর্থাৎ কমিউনিটি থেকে কেউ একজন কোশ্চেন করেছে, সে জানতে চাইছে ডাবল গেমিং এন্ড ব্ল্যাঙ্ক গেমিং কোনগুলো এখনো অবধি কনফার্ম হয়েছে। সো ওভার টু ইউ আশফাক।
So
Nadim also, and Nadim
double
also,
game week,
দুইজনই।
double game week and blank game week was the first topic we covered in this pod. So if you have a chance to go through the video again, if you have the chance, then you will find that we discuss it in detail. But I'll just put a summary on it for your convenience. So double game week confirmation is currently on Brentford and City. Both have double game weeks in game week 25. City plays Chelsea and Brentford plays City and Liverpool. So both of them have both of them have double game weeks. So that is the confirmation we have right now. There's a very high likely possibility that Liverpool might have a double game week as well. They will play Chelsea and
Luton.
Luton. So there's a very high possibility, but it's not confirmed yet. But as per Twitter or Ben Krellin, that Ben Krellin is himself that he'll be very surprised that if it doesn't happen. So if it does happen, then we'll have four teams who'll play the double game week in already confirmed City and Brentford. In addition, we will have Liverpool and Luton as well. Now, regarding the blank game weeks, we have the confirmation of the blank game weeks because blank game weeks in game week 26 is going to happen because on that game week the League Cup final is going to take place. So we have Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Luton who are having blank game weeks. So if you have those assets, you have Trent Alexander-Arnold, Pedro Porro, Palmer in your team, then you should have a plan in place on what to do with them for the blank game week 26. Game week 29 will also be a blank game week, but we don't have the whole scenario on as to what the actual fixtures will be and will not be. So we'll have a better understanding of that by game week 27. So obviously, Gone Football will do a pod on which we will discuss it in detail.
So thank you আশফাক। আসলে এই মুহূর্তে আসলে আমার ফ্লোরটা ছেড়ে দেওয়া দরকার, কোশ্চেন যেহেতু শেষ। ওভার টু ইউ নাদিম।
Thanks, Parvez. An audience, next week this week again we'll be back on Thursday to cover up game week 23, and we'll be focusing on chip strategy, but we'll give you a very clear picture of the double game mix and the blank game mix and which transfers are the priorities. We'll share all that. Yeah. So game week 23 pod is something that you should all watch because we'll give the chip strategy, we'll give you the double game week and the blank game week teams, and we will give you the priority transfers like quite a team থেকে quite a player রাখবো, কারা ভালো হবে, and all that. So yeah.
I just came across an interesting statistic. So
Tell me.
Most people are mentioning that this only Saka in his whole season has only given double digit hauls in two games. Two games only. Yeah, and one of these games was against Nottingham in game week 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's ironic. It's ironic.
Let me just, before people feel like oh shit তাহলে সাকাকে সেল করব না, before people feel that one, let me just give you one stat. Yeah. So Nottingham Forest from their left side have conceded 21 chances so far in the last 6 game weeks, and they are the 10th worst team. 10th. So they are basically in the middle. They are not bad, they are not good either. Yeah. Whereas if you have Martinelli, he's 7th. Yeah, from that side. So I still don't see a lot of hope for Saka, and I think I lost my faith in Saka, not because I captained him, but because 5 goals scored and Saka was not involved. I mean, what sort of a winger are you? Were you hogging the touchline or what? ওই যে আসলে না ছোটবেলায় একটা যে গেম খেলছিলাম,
he was involved, it wasn't given.
ইন্টারেস্টিং আরেকটা ফ্যাক্ট আছে, যে জিনিসটা আমার লাস্ট ম্যাচটা শেষ হওয়ার পরে ডবল ডিজিট যখন আমি করতেছিলাম, তখন আরেকটা ইন্টারেস্টিং ফ্যাক্ট আমার আসছে যে দিয়াগো জোতা এই সিজনে কিন্তু খুব কম ম্যাচই খেলছে এবং ইনভলভ হয়েছে। সে কিন্তু একটা ডবল ডিজিট দিছিল হলো গেম উইক 2 এ বর্নমাউথের সাথে, এবং সে এই গেম উইকে যেটা চলে গেল গেম উইক 21 এখানেও বর্নমাউথের সাথে 19 পয়েন্ট একটা স্কোর করছে। সো আসলে এখানে কোচরা কিন্তু এই জিনিসগুলোকে মাথায় রাখে যে কোন প্লেয়ার আসলে কোন টিমের এগেইনস্টে ভালো করে। সো যেটা হলো বর্নমাউথের এগেইনস্টে খুব ভালো করছিল। সো হোপফুলি যে সাকাও এই গেম উইকে সেম থিং প্রোভাইড করবে, এটা অনেকে আশা করে। সো এপিএল আসলে এটা
এখন হইতেই পারে, এখন এটা হইতেই পারে এই কারণে যে ভাই আমরা বলছি সেল সেল সেল, সবাই এখন সেল সেল সেল, এখন ক্লাসিক এফপিএল হি স্কোরস, ইটস ওকে, ইটস লাইকলি টু হ্যাপেন। বাট যেটা হচ্ছে যে সেটা হলো ট্রেন চলে যাওয়ার পরে বিদায় বান্ধবী বিদায় বলে লাভ নেই, ঠিক আছে? সো উই শুড হ্যাভ সেড দ্যাট জটা স্ট্যাটস অ্যাকচুয়ালি ওয়ার আর্লিয়ার, বাট আমরা আসলে অনেকদিন ধরে ডাবল ডিজিটও করি নাই। সো আই থিঙ্ক পারভেজ নেক্সট গেম উইকের জন্য রিপ্লেসমেন্টের জন্য আমরা ডাবল ডিজিটকে ফোকাস করে রিপ্লেসমেন্ট করে সাজেশন দিব না।
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks, Ashfaq, for joining. Thanks, Parvez, for the wonderful hosting and also for the laugh and the joke and the blind man and the elephant. Yeah. Audience, I hope you get a little bit more clarity now as to where things stands, how the FPL landscape is looking like right now. It's easy to fall out from it because there was a 3 long weeks and there's AFCON and there is this and there is এত কিছু ভাই মাথায় রাখতে পারতেছি না ভাই পরে চিন্তা করবো এরকম টাইপের হইতেই পারে but I hope Ghana Football has helped you and this show has helped you to give you a bit more clarity on the current FPL landscape, so that's helpful. But yeah, if you're still in doubts and if you have something that you think should be covered, do reach out to us and let us know, and we'll be happy to cover it in our next game week over the year weeks. Yeah. But until then, thank you so much, audience, for all the questions. Thank you so much for your viewing. Share it with your friends. Invite them. We are not disrespectful to anyone, and we answer everybody's questions. And we try to tailor every answer to the specific team need. So yeah, any support that comes from you would be appreciated. Until then, we'll see you on Thursday this week for Game Week 23. It's goodbye from me.
Okay. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you for having us. Good night.
Goodbye all.